Yeah. Checking, see if the camera works. Hold on while I check. Last time I made a movie, a video, it didn't come out good. I had my Shaun White cup, and it didn't come out good. I gotta check if it comes out good. I think it's good. I think. Anyway, hopefully it comes out good. Anyway, today is the 1st January 2015, and it's about 1:29 in the morning, January 1st, 2015. And I was thinking about the reform, if it's worth wasting time on it. But I said, maybe it's okay, but I don't know. Anyway, I said, I'll make this short clip here, this short video, and put it on YouTube. One more time I check. I gotta always check on this. Make sure it's okay, the camera. Anyway, I've been wasting my time making this movie or clip or video, and it comes out bad, not very good. Anyway, I was thinking about the reform, and sometimes I think about other people who wrote books. There was this one book, it was called, I forgot, Signs of God, Times of God by Don, I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot of books, but I don't think they go along with. So I was thinking I would write a book one day, but I don't know. About publishing it like a normal book. If it was on paper, I'm not sure how it would come out. I mean, how it would do. Like if I publish it, nobody buys it. Stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to make a book. Nobody buys it, I lose money. I didn't think that makes sense. So, it just kind of formed through process that I did it on Facebook. I don't know if it's considered blogging. It's like writing a book, but like I said, I want to make money from doing the reform. Now, in a lot of videos I mentioned about making money from trying to make the reform, so I wanted to focus this time on specific things. Now, I've always said about teaching right from wrong, religion, and learning the law of the land. Now, it sounds simple, it sounds basic. It is simple and basic. So how could someone like me think that I could make money off making a reform and blogging on Facebook? And why would the government and the people, why would I think that they would support me in such a thing, like a reform that could make, the nation better, the world better? Well, you see, I got this idea, just like everyone else who became great. They got an idea, right? So the idea was they had something that they could do that could benefit people, and then they make money off it. Now, let me give a quick example, okay? Let's say somebody was pushing a car because it stalled. The person who's pushing the car let's say there was like somebody who was like an older person, maybe a lady or a man, and they were pushing a car, and they couldn't really push it very well because it was too big and heavy. And set aside, they have to steer it too at the same time. Now let's say there was a big muscular or big tough strong guy who was standing nearby. He could help push the car, especially if it was like a hazard, like it was like stalled, like in a lane or someplace like an intersection, which it was possible it could get, like, somebody could collide into it to cause a collision, or if it was blocking the traffic. So the point is that, let me set that aside. Let me explain before I get to the point about the Good Samaritan. Now, a lot of people have a lot of success. They have heritage. What is heritage? Well, heritage is like your background, your upbringing, your history, what you have gone through and helped build you so that you reach that point of success and you maintain it. Now, to come quicker to the point, what I'm trying to say is that when we hear things that happen on the news that are bad, the first thing at first I used to never like to watch the news at some point, but then I was thinking that it could be a money maker. In other words, if something happened on the news that's bad, and then I claim, and how I explain this, I say that I can fix it so things bad don't happen. Like, if I'm watching something on the news and something bad happens, and then I say, well, if we do things a certain way, we can eliminate that from happening. And so the point is, like, it's not just on the news, but in the newspaper. So what I'm saying is I could solve the problems. So in order to solve the problem, there has to be contribution, so that basically people that do bad things or whatever you want to call it, and end up on the news or something, Because if they didn't do bad things, they wouldn't be on the news unless it was for something good. But I'm talking about something bad. If they did something bad. So, basically, they need to know better. Now, this gets complicated. This is the trick here. Why do people, they don't know better? Okay? Well, see, this is what I'm trying to make money off of. Let's say, for instance, there's someone successful in, like, getting girls. Let's focus on boys, because it's a little bit different from girls. That's what I feel. But let's just focus on boys. If a guy can get a girl, then it's considered success. Okay, now, let's just focus on a guy right now. If a guy has financial success, it's also success. Now, how does a guy get successful financially? Well, we know that you can go to college. That's, well known. So people can do good in school, go to college, have a career, work on their career, advance in their career, work their way up, they make money. Now, to get a girlfriend that they're happy with, it's a little bit different. I'm just going to call it qualities. A girl sees qualities in the guy, she likes the guy, she commits to him as his girlfriend, and then maybe she'll marry him. So it's qualities. Now, in both cases, heritage is involved. If someone is going to do good in school and get a degree, his background is important. Now, some people have stronger backgrounds than others. In other words, they were better students in school, when they were younger. And then, about qualities for girls, they had qualities when they were younger. So what's the idea that I'm trying to say? The idea is that knowing better from right and from wrong is also an issue. Like getting girls and being financially successful. So let's say, for instance, we have an issue number 1, financial success. Issue number 2, securing like a girlfriend or boyfriend. Like if you're a girl, you want a boyfriend. If you're a boy, you want a girlfriend. So this being able to get a girlfriend that you're happy with. That's issue 2. Now the third issue is like what I said about knowing better. Knowing better, or you can call it knowing right from wrong, is issue 3. I read in this magazine something that was about gangsters, and they said something about being hot at staying at life or liberty or something. Anyway, what it means is like getting in trouble and, either getting attacked by, society, or getting attacked, or, getting in trouble with the law. And so I guess in gang warfare or something, they can get attacked by gangs, but sometimes people who are not involved in gangs can also have problems in society also. I mean, if they fight or something, I don't know, but if people fight, there's a lot of ways they could fight, I guess. I don't know. People do fight, but I mean, I heard about a story about Kim Phan inside the nightclub, and then there was this Dodger Stadium and stuff, and I don't know. They had a lot of fights. There's a lot of ways people could have quarrel. There could be like a quarrel with people, and then they're fighting. So anyway, either they have problems with other people or the law. Now, like if two men are fighting, one can get hurt or both can get hurt. So that's the point. So everything is considered to know better, so that there isn't a problem. So that's issue 3. Now, with me, I always wanted a girlfriend. Not to get too much on the subject, but, you know, because I'm 44. Let me check the camera one more time. Yeah, I think it's working. Now, remember, today is January 1:44 in the morning. The year 2015. January 1, 2015, 1:44 in the morning. Now, what I want to say is that I want to make money by people donating money to me specifically for some type of a teaching in which it helps, like, prevent crime, prevent evil, prevent World War III, prevent problems. And so I don't see a lot of competition for what I'm trying to do. So since there's no competition, I can be like Elvis, Frank Sinatra, you know, a famous singer. You know, Michael Jackson was a famous singer, but he had a lot of problems. So pretend Michael Jackson without problems. I mean, can you imagine Michael Jackson having hot girlfriends that are 18, 19, 20? You never heard about that too much. Obviously, because he likes young boys. Anyway, I'm looking for fame. I like girls 18, 19, 20. I'll go with older girls, but, you know, they have to be good. They have to be good so that I don't lose interest. I want another girl that's better. Now, so what we have to do is understand that the people who have a problem with issue number 3 about right from wrong, they might need, like, to learn more and understand more about religion, law, and right from wrong. Now, you know, if I say I would like a girlfriend, people would be like, yeah, If I say I want to be rich, people will be like, yeah, But see, the trick is, that crazy guy John Wayne Gacy used to say the handcuffs trick. Never mind. Anyway, the trick is that issue number 3 could be a menace to society. In other words, when people have problems, it affects people. So there's more of a push for issue number 3. Like I said, if I said I want a girlfriend, people will be like, If I said I want to be rich, people will be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But issue number 3, if I say there's problems in society and they need to be dealt with and solved, people will be like, yeah, that's a lot of priority involved there. Because when you put the news on and you see bad things happening, that affects people. And when that happens, people would be willing to show support. And that's what I want. I want the people to show support. Now, I'm going to have to go soon, but let's get back to what I said about the old man and woman pushing a car that's a little bit too much for them. Remember I told you about there was a big guy standing around? Well, the big guy could help. He could help push that car. He's big and strong. So I'm trying to say is the government represents that big guy. And some people need help so that they know better and do better. And when they don't get that help, they end up on the news. And that's how I want to make my money, is to see if we can get help to people. Now, when people watch the news and they see these people, they're kind of confused because they don't understand what could be done to prevent people from doing bad things. And I understand that. Remember the Indians? They lost their land because they weren't organized. Well, if the Indians were organized, they would have a nation. It would be called the Indian Nation. This is the Native American Indians. And they would have a government. And then when Christopher Columbus came, he couldn't claim it for Spain. And when the colonists came, they couldn't take it, because the Indian Nation would have a government. See, by the Indians not having a nation, they lost their land. That's the point. Now, we have a similar problem here. We don't have a way to teach people for issue number 3. Now, remember I said issue number 1, money. The people say, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Issue 2, get a nice girlfriend. People say, okay, yeah, that's cool. But issue number 3 is a priority. And unless we're organized to deal with this, people are going to continue watching the news and seeing bad things and reading about them in the paper. Especially, the Second World War was very bad. So, being organized is like, remember the big guy helping the old woman or the old man push the car? The big guy is really the government. And the Indians didn't have that. They didn't have a big guy helping them. A big, strong guy, big, strong, 500 pounds, 500 pounds, 6'4", big and strong, like King Kong Bundy, WWF, like the Big Show, World Wrestling Federation, entertainment. Now, the government is strong. It's big. It's like a giant. Like a 500-pound, big, tough, strong man. But unless that big guy is willing to help that old person push that car, they ain't going to get any help. And that's what happened with the Indians. It's like that big guy didn't want to help push the car. When the Indians needed a government, they didn't have one. So they lost their land. So what I'm trying to say is, in order to prevent crime and evil, there has to be a way to teach the people. And a lot of people have a problem with that number 3 issue. Remember what I said. If you want a girlfriend, people say, okay, that's cool. If you want financial success, okay, that's cool. But if I say about issue 3, people they would say, I support that that's a priority. So what is what I'm saying? It's a priority. It's a priority to prevent evil. It's a priority to prevent crime. It's a priority to prevent World War III. And in order for that to be a priority and be addressed, there has to be a way to teach people. Because if people don't know better, they can't do what's right. And that's a serious problem. And that's issue 3. The reform focuses on a way in which we can get organized. And whether we do it without government support, it's still a way. The reason I say government support is because you can't beat that. Because the government is organized. There was no way the Indians were going to be able to prevent people from taking their land unless they had a national government. Now, we have a problem is the First Amendment says you can't teach religion. Now, if we can just alter it a little bit so that we can teach religion, it would help. Like I said about that big guy, remember 500 pounds, 6'5", 6'9", Big Show, King Kong Bundy. If he don't want to help that old lady push the car, he's useless. He's just standing there eating a piece of pizza while that old man, old lady are pushing that car. But he's just standing there, and he ain't helping. 500 pounds, 6'9", and he just standing there watching the old lady push the car, eating a piece of pizza. He's not helping. If the government are hamstrung, if they can't help, it's the same like the 500-pound guy just standing there watching. I know the government can do a lot more, but they can't. They're not doing it. It could be because the Constitution says you can't teach religion. It says the First Amendment says Congress shall pass no law respecting an establishment of religion. I understand that they don't want to touch this law, but it's like there's a lot of problems, so I don't see how it could be addressed without some kind of government involvement. But basically, like for instance, that guy named Jalen Freiberg, I forgot, I posted it on the Great Reform. There's a lot of examples, but I'm saying when people do not learn better, and on top of that, they have a lot of issues in their childhood in which they've been abused, it causes them to have a serious issue with issue number 3, in which they don't know better. So to be sure people know better, there has to be an organized system to deal with that. And right now, that don't exist. Now, the worst case was Adolf Hitler. So basically, when people cause problems, they can be like a little Hitler. I was just thinking about I was reading that article about Jalen Freiberg, some guy who had a problem with, he had an ex-girlfriend. Her name was Shailene George or something. I don't know. But I heard that he had a problem in the cafeteria. I was reading the National Enquirer. But Adolf Hitler caused World War II. Jalen Freiberg, 15 years old, caused a serious problem. They both have an issue with number 3 issue. Number 3 issue is they didn't know better. And so if people don't know better, so we got to teach people, a system that teaches people. So basically the 3 things that have to be taught are religion, right from wrong, and laws of the land. Now, religion is complicated, but if you learn some religion, it helps. And so it's really a struggle. It's a struggle. But ever heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away? So if you learn, it's like having an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So some people need to learn, and they're not learning. And remember the Indians. They didn't have a government. They lost their land. If we don't have some kind of a system, how will people learn? If the government doesn't have some kind of an agency, like I said, Department of Human Safety, that can reach out and try to help the people that might need it. when they came to take the Indians' land, the only defense was a tribe. Sometimes two tribes or more banded together, but they were no match for the government. They were no match for the King of England. There were no match for England. There were no match for the United States that was forming, because they had a government. If we have a government agency, call it what you want, call it Department of Human Safety, it could try to help the people who are in need to know better. And that government agency will be like that 500-pound big guy, 6'9", 500 pounds. King Kong Bundy, WWE, Big Show, WWE, big like that. He's standing on the sidewalk eating a piece of pizza. Is he going to help that old man and lady push that car, or is he just going to stand there and watch? That's what the issue is with the government. They can help, but obviously they're not helping very much because there are a lot of problems. From what I understand, they can't help because first they don't have, like I said, some kind of a department which deals with teaching people better. And on top of that, the worst thing is it says specifically in the First Amendment, Congress shall pass no law respecting an establishment of religion. That means the 500-pound guy, 6'9", 500 pounds, is going to keep standing on that sidewalk, eating that piece of pizza while that old lady tries to push that car. And he can't do anything. Because, like I said, the government can't do anything. Because the First Amendment says you can't teach religion. Remember, if Freiberg learned religion, Jalen Freiberg, that crazy nut, the one, I gotta get the Inquirer, I forgot. Some guy, it's in the Reform. His name is Jalen Freiberg. He had a girlfriend named Shalene George, and he broke up with her. And then he had two cousins, Andrew Freiberg and Nat Hatch, or something. I gotta read it. You can look at it in the Reform. I have it on the Reform. Anyway, he might have been abused when he was little. He might have been tortured and abused. Who knows? Anyway, he needed help. He needed to learn right from wrong. Issue number 3, the government don't help him because you can't teach. So the result is problems. And he's just one example. There's thousands and millions of this crazy people who have issues. They do things that they shouldn't do. Adolf Hitler was an excellent example. He needed to learn right from wrong. And he didn't. We can't afford another world war. The weapons now, today, that the nations have will probably end the existence of humans on the earth. To prevent this, there has to be an excellent teaching system of right from wrong. I prefer the nations all join together and just have one leader. But unless they do that, the only other alternative is to have an effective teaching system. Remember, that effective teaching system is the government. And remember, before I leave, 2 other things. If the Indians had a government, they wouldn't have lost their land. And the government, think of the government as that big guy, 500 pounds, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", big guy, helping that old man or woman push that car. Is he going to help, or is he going to stand there eating a piece of pizza? And that's my point. The Indians didn't have that big guy to help them. Didn't have a government. And society don't have that help that they need. They don't have it because if they had it, people would know better. And there's a lot of problems. And I put examples on the Facebook, The Great Reform. So until next time, if you want to donate money, 7100 Cerritos, number 33, 7100 Cerritos, 7100 Cerritos Avenue, number 33. Make sure you get that, 33. You can send me cash. Send me cash in the mail. I don't care. Anyway, 7100, number 33, Stanton, California. Stanton, California, 90680. United States. Email chriscandelaria69@yahoo.com. You can see it on The Great Reform on Facebook. Right now I'm on page 424. My phone number 1714-249-5027. 1714-249-5027. Send me money. Give me money. Donate to me money. I need it. If you need the address, it's on The Great Reform. I gotta go now. Thank you for watching this video. 2:04 a.m. January 1, 2015. Thank you.